Happy Saturday, Nitro Gang Live. Now, my dudes, I am doing this stream a little bit later than normal. I know what it's like. It's people's bedtimes, or some people's get up early in the morning and make some coffee times. It depends where in the world Nitro Carmen San Diego is today. So I figured, let me get home, make some coffee, and talk some Nitro. Let me say hello to everyone that I see here. Guys, I have a little bit of a special surprise that actually goes outside of this Super Nitro. But I was up till about 3:40 in the morning last night making this Nitro great again, and I will talk about that in a little bit. We got JW Smart, Tarek here in the house, Satan's Rage. We got David, how you doing? We got John Hensley. We got Big Boys Toys. The rest of you guys are going to be showing up here in a little bit. That'd be great. Now, my bros, Rock and Roller, how you doing? Michael Sucha. I'm going to wait a little while and give you guys the update down low on what you see here. But for those of you that might remember from yesterday, anybody want to remind me what I was struggling with? What was I struggling with? That's right, John knows, 3:30 a.m. working on Nitros. I was up till 3:40 actually, bro. So, like, no competition here, but 3:40. I probably went to sleep at 5 in the morning, because, let's face it, after all the Nitro hypeness, you gotta watch some, production line Japanese assembly videos on YouTube. I was personally watching how steel I-beams are made. Anybody here wants to know how steel I-beams are made? Well, they're made in a foundry. There's your answer. We got Andre Lisi, how you doing? Barn Cat, Saint Marquina, Jose Velasquez, 1359, how you doing? Jake Lemoni, 3113. So far, I haven't mispronounced anybody, I think. Let me take a sip of this awesome coffee. And guys, I'm actually sitting by something that only two people know to a degree of where I was at today. And both of them are in this stream right now. And they're both mods. So that narrows it down to actually literally two people. Jay Bauer, what's going on? So let me ask you all a question. How you doing there? No Music. Happy to see you here. No Music today wanted to know whether this blends. I think with the current renovations, it will blend something. Hopefully not those spur gears. Nitro Pimp, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here. Got to catch up on your video from, I think it was yesterday, on the OFNA CRT.5. Haven't had a chance, bro, but I will be there tomorrow in the snowstorm. We got Robert Wood from the UK. I appreciate you, man. Been a member for 35 months of the highest tier. That deserves a major hell yeah. Thank you, man. Robert Wood, only RC Nitros. What's going on? So, my dudes, you might remember yesterday, I was kind of upset a little bit because I couldn't remove these screws. And in fact, a lot of people don't know that these Novarasi style Italian engines legitimately do have flat head screws. And, some good advice was given onto some certain screwdrivers to buy. But you know what? I dug deep and I dug very long and I found the THS screwdriver that I've always used. This was a gift from Ben a couple years ago. Never lose a THS screwdriver. This thing has the perfect tip there for tuning and for screwing. You know what I'm talking about? The nitro screwing. We're not talking about anything dirty here. Come on, what kind of channel do you think this is? You think this is Jerry Springer? Jerry Springer's not here. Is Jerry Springer still a mayor of a town? He was a mayor. Anyway, we're going to continue, bro. So I bet you're all asking yourself, hey, Hybrid, so you removed the cooling head, right? You had a look inside the engine? Come on, you guys want to know, did I look inside the engine? And I'm going to show you something. The screws are, in fact, pretty tight right now. And the question is, why is the cooling head jiggly? As Will Smith once said in a song, is the cooling head getting jiggy with it? Now, Will Smith might be getting jiggy with it, but this cooling head certainly should not be. John, how you doing? Happy to see you here, bro. Now, I'm going to give you all the down low and the update on that, and also a major successful brake repair. So there was actually one sickening viewer in the stream yesterday that gave the ultimate best suggestion on how to fix it. And I'm going to wait till they get here. I don't want to announce them just yet. They're not here. I just checked the chat. Because my dudes, I'm going to tell you something. I want to give those people with the good suggestions the respect and the recognition they deserve. That's how it works on this channel. All right, so let me wait a little while. We're going to put this thing back together. Yeah, we're expecting a major snowstorm, so you can understand I was out on the road today trying to make a Nitro great again. I am actually holding in my right hand, this is my left hand, I'm holding in my right hand right now one of the Nitros I just picked up today. Now, the first name of this Nitro is Thunder. You might be able to figure out the last name, okay? If the first name is Thunder, there's only two people here that know what it might be. Tarek and Ben. Only two people know. First name Thunder, last name Cobra. Okay, you know that brand? Thunder Cobra? Neither do I. Because it's not a cobra, it's a leopard. It's not a leopard, it's a tiger. Okay, don't tell Sandy. He don't like the tigers. They're scary, he said. Well, let me see what the chat is saying right here, and we're gonna continue. Okay, Big Boy's Toys here with a good suggestion. He goes, there's probably no head button. So let me explain what the situation so far is. I'm gonna have to remove these screws, and we're gonna have to get to dremeling. Anybody here have an idea why that has to happen? Well, I'm gonna wait a little while, and we'll explain why it has to happen. That's right, John got it correct. It's a Thunder Tiger. First name Thunder, last name not Cheetah. Okay, bros, appreciate you stopping in. Wasn't sure if I was going to do a stream tonight. Don't know how long it's going to be, but something has to happen. Oh, man. Drinking that coffee right there. All right, let's move on to the engine for now, because I want to get this thing situated real good. And in fact, the Thunder Tiger might come out for a little walk. Earl Moorhead, how you doing, man? Happy Saturday night to you. It's a little earlier where you are, but it's eventually night everywhere around the world. Unless, of course, you believe in a flat Earth theory, which is stupid, because the sun still sets around the globe, doesn't it? Well, it does. So I'm going to give you a little glimpse. Don't look too much, because you might... This is going to surprise you, to be honest with you. You're going to be like, what is that? In fact, I don't know if I want to show it to you right now. I might pull it out and just... oh, what is that rolling up on the side of the screen? What is that rolling up? What kind of tire is that? This is a Thunder Tiger. But what kind of model? I guarantee... nobody will know what it is. I'm going to hold off on that for a little while. Why? Because suspense. If Leonardo DiCaprio could pretend that he didn't want to survive at the end of Titanic, because we both know, we've watched that Mythbusters episode where they've proven that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate could have both survived on that little raft. Right? They've proven it. So the guy only had one thing he wanted to do, and her name is Kate. And he did. Can we get a hell yeah on that one? Okay, let's get down to business. Gonna work on the engine. Team Richard, how you doing, man? All right, so we're going to get down to business. I have to start working on this engine. You guys yesterday wanted me to remove the cooling head, but I didn't have the right tool. But now I do. So this is a it's a 3-port RB. Very, very rare because it's side exhaust. We have a proper RB carb, slide carb. Does boot as good. Air filter, motor saver, classic, and the awesome orange cooling head. So I'm gonna remove. Oh yeah, I didn't ask you why the cooling head is dancing. Why is it dancing like this? Nitro Racing Power, how you doing? Happy Saturday to you. Why is the cooling head dancing? Anybody want to figure this out? Well, there's really only one actual true answer. If I go pull up like this, you could tell. There's only one obvious answer. Anybody want to tell me what the answer is? The screw is too long. So the screw is too long. I don't have shorter screws, so I think we're going to have to Dremel ourselves some screws today. I think that's what's going to have to actually go down. All right, so getting back to work on the engine, and when I see that awesome viewer that helped me figure out what was wrong with the brakes, I will give them a shout out. But for now, I am not going to say how I was able to fix the brakes. But if you look closely, Paige Smith, how you doing, bro? If you look close up at the brake linkage, you might be able to tell what happened. You might be able to tell. Monty Korska, how you doing? So now I've gotten the disc brake, the much thinner one, to basically sit correctly. There's only one thing left to do. Test the whole assembly. What sucks is these screws are a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to Dremel them. Didn't want to do that. But that's the only way this is going to work. Could I get a hell yeah? All right, Nitro Pimp said it. Lotus, yesterday, Lotus RC, our awesome channel mod, suggested that I put, I think a couple of people suggested, but his comment was the main one I saw first, suggested that I put washers on this side of the disc brake. And guess what? 2 washers did the job. All right, bros. You want to see inside this pretty rare Italian RB or what? All right, RC Adventures, how you doing, bro? All right, so first things first. These are the screws I'm going to use. Cooling head is in pretty good condition. In fact, it's probably one of the best ones I've seen. Top has a little bit of anodizing missing, but that's no big deal. So these are the 4 screws I have. Bring them up here to the light. If I put them this way and compare them to the factory screws, you could see that this first actual factory screw is a little bit shorter. The one with the flathead. It's a little bit shorter, so I'm going to have to cut these to compensate. It's basically the only solution I have at this point. But they are exactly the same thread, 2.5 millimeter. Should be a perfect fix, no issues. Good idea or what? Could I get a good idea, hell yeah, on this one? Yeah, Barncat goes, grind it slowly. So my grinding wheel is actually a little bit hidden right now. I can't get a grinder. I'm going to have to use a cutoff wheel on this one. So, you know, personally, it's going to take like a long time. But let's, I mean, some is better than none. You all want to take a look inside, though? Come on. You know you want to take a look inside. You know you want to do it. So Nitro Pimp wants to know, what is wrong with reusing the original screws? So the problem is, I'm worried that based on tightening, these actually do go bad fairly easily, right? So this is a THS screwdriver. It's not the perfect fit. It's a good fit, but it's not the perfect fit. I mean, I'm really worried that these, some of them, this one is in good condition, but some of the other ones are like halfway stripped. So I was lucky. I was able to get them out, to be honest with you. If you take a look at, like, let me see another one over here. Yeah, this one is already, let me show you up close. This one right here. Oh man, look at that clarity. Bro, how does hybrid do it? Nobody knows. This one right here is already starting to like kind of round out over there. So any more kind of mistakes and I'll never be able to get these screws out. That's kind of the problem I'm worried about. Right, if they're in good condition, then it's nothing to worry about. But mine are already, this is an old engine. And no guarantees that I'll ever be able to kind of remove them again if I need to. Let me read the comment here from Michael Sucha before I continue. Michael Sucha goes, low C5B Bartolone, 32. Half of gas tank won't run full gas tank. Runs, what the hell up with that? You're going to have to give us a couple more details. Have you checked to make sure your fuel pickup is actually clean and submerged correctly? Is it like lying, is your fuel pickup lying correctly on the bottom of the tank, like flat? Also, is the breather like clogged or anything? Have you tried to check to make sure there's no vapor lock of any kind? All these little things could add up. So let us know. So I was doing a little bit of cutting earlier with the cutoff wheel, and I got some plastic stuck to it. Well, I hope this basically comes off. Let me take off this plastic stuff. All right, we got most of it off. All right, bros, let's begin cutting. All right, the only thing that bad could happen is it won't go into the threads, but I'm going to check. I'm not going to remove this because there's going to be dirt around right now. So let me put this engine to the side. Make sure nothing gets in the way. What I need is like a little towel. Melissa, can you bring me like a kitchen towel or something? Towel, please. All right, Michael Sucha with an update. Let me read this. He goes, fuel line is good. Big vent hole and gas cap runs good until it gets half of tank. Then won't run. What about your spark plug? Thing is, sometimes a bad carb based on time, it'll just get worse and worse and worse. Have you tried a new plug? I'm just curious. Yeah. John Henson goes, these nitros take a lot of work and creative problem solving. You are correct, bro. You know, you could easily just replace parts, but of course, these are very old cars. And you do need to get creative if you want to maintain a giant fleet. Today, a viewer asked me to do a video of, my entire collection. Truth is, it's not about the entire collection for me. It never has been. It's about the one RC that's in front of me. That's what it's about. I don't even know how many I have. If you asked me to count, I would probably ballpark it 200 to 300. Probably 200 to 300 of the ones that I know about. Okay, there's some I don't know about. You guys haven't even seen the Thunder Tiger that's on the floor. It's sickening. But yeah, Michael Sucha, I mean, a lot of people here also do the gas hobby. We can confirm that the first thing to really try when you're having kind of rough running is replacing the spark plug. So those spark plugs, the NGK CMR7H, even though they look like they have spark, after a little bit of running, the platinum that's inside there, basically, what is it called? The isolator material doesn't isolate well. The insulator material, it's the ceramic insulation, right? The white taper that's on the plug around the metal, it just becomes bad over time. So that, you can't really visually tell. It'll just run rough. For me, every time I had an issue just like how you described, it was always either the plug or the carb. It was literally always one of those two things. What kind of fuel do you run? Melissa, can we get towel in here? I think nobody heard what I was saying. I need a small kitchen towel. All right, I'm going to have to go without a towel. Ray Coral, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. All right, we got one of the biggest Super Nitro Rally fans I think I've spoken to in recent history. Ray Coral Spotty Jack. Exactly that body. So, hell yeah. For those of you catching up, update. All right, Michael Sucha goes, makes sense, gets hot, won't work. It's most likely your bad plug, bro. The first thing you want to do is, trust me, get another plug. Try it with the other plug. That is like the easiest troubleshooting you will ever do. Robert Jones, what's up? Happy Saturday to you. So yeah, with rough running on these gas RCs, the first thing you want to do is the cheapest, and the easiest is the plug. Believe it or not, visually, they'll look good. But internally, inside of that ceramic material, they get destroyed, right? Max Settings, how you doing, bro? Let me read what you just said. Max Settings, he goes, I got a Pico 28 from Italy. Oh, man, that is exciting. Oh, but you had a tariff? I mean, honestly, 25, percentage-wise, what would you say that was? So figure a Pico 28 is what, like $180? I don't know what the actual prices are right now. So what did you do, like a 20% tariff? Just tell us how many percent it is. Either way, bro, I'm sad that happened to you, but I'm happy you got the motor, okay? I'm happy you got, oh, let me say engine. Bros, I one time said motor, I got called a communist, okay? For reals. This guy really, really got angry at me. Don't ever call engines a motor, because this guy will want to try to kill you on that one. Where's the engine? Where did I put the engine, bros? Oh, it's over there. Okay. I'm telling you, I one time called a nitro engine a motor. It was over. Called me a communist. Truth is, I believe in free market capitalism. Okay. Yep. Spotty Jack goes, happened to him many times and changed the plug, fixed it. That's the easy part with the gas RCs. There's really not much. It's like working on an old Chevy Bel Air, right? You need spark, you need fuel. The fuel, it's hard to see if your carb is bad. Obviously, you can't look inside really, although you can take the plug out and see if it's like, flooded or not. So if you have no fuel inside the plug area, then yeah, you have no fuel. But the spark is the easiest thing to first check. All right. Correct. Motors are electric. That is true. Well, in this country they're called that, but of course, the USA is not the center of the world. It's one of the biggest centers, of development, of, culture, capitalism, scams, stuff like that. But most people actually call anything that spins over a motor. All right. Rossman, how you doing? Good question from Rossman. He goes, why are these called motor mounts? Dude, that is a logical question right there, Fro. That is logical. Oh, we could get a little good debate on this going. Bizor7, how you doing? He goes, Ford Motor Company would disagree that motors are electric. Well, yeah, Ford is American-based, so of course they're applying the English architecture to words, right? They're applying the English naming conventions. But really, a motor is anything that, it's hard to say. I mean, when I grew up, everything is called a motor. It doesn't matter. Everything is called a motor. So these are cultural differences, really. I mean, let's face it. We know what we're talking about. If I say a motor or if I say an engine, I'm not talking about pliers, right? I mean, words matter. But also, you understand, people today walk around doing 6-7, right? They 6-7 all day long. Nobody to this day knows what 6-7 means. And the 6-7 dweeb doesn't get made fun of, does he? So I think we're all going to have to let that one slide. You don't want to start 8-9ing, do you? I aimed 8-9'd Melissa earlier. She wasn't too happy about it. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start cutting. Oh, she told me not to talk about that. See what happens? Guys got me in trouble. Now I'm in trouble over here. Freaking in trouble now. So what I would need is honestly something that I could easily cut this with. Let me get some eye protection. What? There we go. Massive eye protection. Yep. Donacella goes, how about the outboard motor? Good point on that one. Good point. Nitro Pimp, do you know what my copay is for very good medical insurance? It's very expensive. Okay? I understand this country's having issues with medical insurance, but my copay is crazy. Can't afford problems at this stage in life. Can't do it. Right, bros. I'm going to cut a couple threads off this. Rory, Holler, Turtle Racing, appreciate that. Supporting the channel. Just so you guys know, I put a giant wad of money on something I bought tonight. That's why I'm doing this late. But that might be revealed later on. Earl Moore, let me read what you said. Always appreciate your comments. He goes, engines are just air compressors. Compressor motors. Motors are used to drive something from what I... Well, I mean, the ultimate goal of an engine or a motor is to really convert, you know, potential energy to kinetic energy, right? Like, that's literally the ultimate goal. If I talk too much, I'm never going to be able to cut anything over here. You know what? The stainless steel was not a good choice. I don't have any more of those weaker black screws, though. This stainless steel screw is going to kill my... It's very hard to Dremel. It's going to be a problem. I'm only like maybe a third of the way through. It's not sickening at all. Big Boys Toys, thank you, bro. My dude, should I continue? This is some hardcore threads. Should I get a bench grinder? I have a bench grinder. I'm going to have to look for it. This is going to take a while, and it's throwing up a lot of dust. Bench grinder or what? So far, I only got like literally a small amount of it. What do you guys think? Bench grinder this? My dudes, I'm in a union too. It's called the Nitro Gang Union. Danicello, yes, I wound up finding my correct THS screwdriver, and I was able to pull the head off. And now I'm basically just taking some screws and cutting them because they're too long. I don't have the correct screws. That some would say, screw job. There's a screw job. I thought I had the correct length screws, but it turns out I don't. Dude, this is like, it's only halfway cut right now. I literally just need to take off like 3 threads. Like 4 or 5, like 4 threads. All right, mini grinder. The problem is the grinder that I have, I don't know if I could plug it in here, to be honest with you. I should probably do this somewhere with better light. All right, bros, I think what we're going to do, we're going to take this show to the kitchen. Actually, no, the kitchen has some dirty sink. It has some dirty plates in it. Can't do it in the kitchen. It's going to be embarrassing. I'm just going to slowly continue this. Yeah, Nitro Pimp, I don't want to reuse the originals because I am not confident I will be able to remove them again. To be honest with you, I had to really hardcore struggle with those. That's the problem. This really needs proper hex screws. Now I'm going to give it another shot. Damn, there's a bunch of metal flying around. Yeah, Danicello, I could probably use Traxxas screws, huh? Let's see, before I continue this. I'm wondering, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to use Traxxas screws. Let me get some Traxxas screws. This could be some Traxxas solution right here. Let me remove one of these old Traxxas screws from a Pro 15. It might work. I only need 4, so it'll be perfect. Let me just try 1 so far. I mean, if this was another Traxxas save, I'm going to have to do a Traxxas dance. I haven't made one up yet, but... Oh, dude, I think this is going to be perfect. Let me clean this screw up. I think this screw is going to be perfect. Could we get a Traxxas hallelujah? I know Nitro Pimp and I usually talk about how Traxxas always saves the day. This might be another one of those occasions. Hallelujah to Traxxas. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically compare them. I mean, it's literally, it's very good. Yeah, it's literally very good. It's even a little bit better, I would say. Traxxas, hallelujah. Saved me a lot of work, actually. Thank God, Traxxas. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, so I'm gonna do these screws in a little bit. But the old Novarossi screws, I don't want to reuse. All right, bros. What do you say? Do you want to see inside this engine? I think we're gonna have to take a look. Let me get the light on. You want me to take off that head button? Let's take off the head button. What's in there? Pretty good. Oh, wow. Look at that. It lifts the sleeve. What did hybrid do to it? What did I do to it overnight? I did something, didn't I? I sure did do something. So, what I did is called a repinch. All right, so these are 3-port. People were basically correct when they said that. All right, so at the bottom, here we go. I mean, it's pretty good inside. It's a 3-port. It's nothing crazy. It's an ABC 3-port. Looks pretty normal. It's oiled up. Could I get a 3-port? Hell yeah. Dolo Brolic, bro, thank you for becoming a new channel member. By the way, yesterday's video went channel member only. So if you want to see what happened, that's going to be your way. So appreciate that, man. Channel membership is really what helps grow the channel. All right, we got a 3-port, hell yeah. All right, so it's pretty good in there. I mean, I don't see any kind of major, issues. I cleaned it up relatively okay. So we're going to check to make sure the Traxxas threads go in. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. Always check. All right. Dolo Brolic, you not late. I'm giving you an update. So basically, I was able to remove the cooling head from this engine from last night. And right now, I'm replacing screws with Traxxas screws. These are proper hardened screws. And my dudes, it's a direct hole-in-one. Billy Madison can't even do a hole-in-one as good as this. This is a proper hole-in-one. You see, this is why never throw out your Traxxas stuff. Because, dude, even the hardware... This engine is toast, by the way. But even the hardware they use on these motor engines... Oh, you almost heard me say motor. Bro, make sure I don't say that again, because I know we got a lot of opinions in here. Dolo Brolic, we had a conversation earlier. Do you call an electric a motor and an actual internal combustion an engine, or are motor and engine interchangeable? I believe, depending on what culture you're from, the word motor could really mean anything that's turning into some kind of rotational power force. Really, it's doing work. Pretty much, in my opinion, if what you're doing is doing work, which is a physical term, let me remove these screws. Work equals, I remember from my advanced placement physics classes, motor work equals, I think, distance, change in velocity, no, change in distance over time. Let me define what work means. Shit, before I give the wrong definition of work. I don't want to do that. Okay, go, let's see. Work physics formula. Okay. Work is defined as the product of force and displacement in the... Okay, this is a very complicated definition. I need... okay, so work equals energy, no, force times distance. There we go. All right, let's continue. This might be over some people's heads over here. We don't want to have that happen. Let me just get these screws out before I get, well, too distracted. Okay, I got... okay, the screws are actually good. And these are proper 2.5 millimeter screws. Some of the older OS engines, you guys might be aware, they use small tube 2 millimeter. The 2 millimeters do strip pretty easy. Yep, only RC here with a good definition. He goes, work hard, play hard. That's good. Work equals that. Work hard equals play hard. Okay, I get it. That's cool. All right, actually, you know what? This engine, I don't know why it's a parts engine for me. It's probably because it's seized. But who knows? These carbs are actually pretty good. All right. Got 3 of the screws out. That's good. Let me just take a little quickie at this Pro 15. Why did I put this in the junk bin? Oh, no, it moves. I think I put in the junk bin because... I mean, the top of the sleeve looks okay. I don't see anything crooked. Obviously, it's dirty. The carb looks... well, it's seized. But these are 2-needle carbs that, like, honestly... if you guys need, like, cheap carbs for, like, these old vintage engines that are rotary, this is going to be your carb. The Pro 15 carb is going to be the one you want to get. So, whatever. This engine, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, I'm not going to be rehabbing it. It's basically just a parts engine in case I need, like, some kind of hardware or needles or something. All right. Let's get down. I'm going to clean these screws. And then we're going to assemble it and test the compression. My dudes, I got a question for you, though. I bet you're wondering, hey, Hybrid, you told us yesterday this engine had no compression, right? What happened overnight? Well, I put it under my pillow, slept on it, woke up, had compression. I mean, it's pretty much as simple as that. What it really was is something I'm not really going to get into because it's highly subjective. Yeah, this one is very dirty. I'm going to have to clean this one. This one's very, very dirty. But, I mean, so far, the repair is going pretty positive, I would say, huh? Michael Sucha goes, did I put a different sleeve in it? I did not add any parts. 0 parts were added. I did what is known as a home repinch. Got the idea from... if he wants me to say it, I'll say it. Otherwise, I won't say it. But it did basically work, I would say, 80% good. Carl D, what's up? Yeah, 80% good, not 100%. Obviously, if you want 100% repinch, you're going to have to send it out to get repinched. Right? But, it's, I would say, for, like, a decent quality engine, it's worth it. John Hensey wants to know, is the sleeve made of brass? So generally, yes, there's three materials: aluminum, brass, nickel. Um, the brass is basically, yeah, that's the center of it, right? All right. So you get so basically when you hear me say ABC, I'm referring to the three materials that are made up on the sleeve: the aluminum, brass, and nickel. There's chrome. Sorry, chrome. That's chrome is the ABC. ABN is the nickel. Pulse with, how you doing, man? All right, so let me assemble this thing back, and I'll pull over the starter for you guys, and you will see it now currently has some proper pinch. Last night it had nothing. It was dead. It was toast. It was garbage. By the way, today's short, so you guys might be wondering, today's short of this thing running, right? That was actually an old video. So I did record a quickie. Let me go to the stream real quick. 1 second. I want to play you guys the short from today, just so you could actually hear it running. So it did in fact run. Let me go my own videos. 1 second. I want to play the stream just so you guys know it did actually run. Hold on. The best of the best. All right, here we go. Let me do a little zoom on it. What's up there, Spinny? How you doing? Let me do a little zoom. So this is from today, a little quickie from today of this exact car. And it is a runner, but this was recorded a long time ago before the home repinch. So let me play it. Vintage HPI Super Nitro Rally. The best of the best. Let's fire it up. It's a runner. So this was about 2 years ago. Good looking chassis, huh? Oh, what's that? Well, just something for fun. All right, let's get back. Super nice. Let's get back to this. I also think there's something in the clutch that's making it sound not good. Probably the clutch is engaging early. I think that's the condition here. The clutch is for sure engaging early. So it sounds a little bit not too good. But it's going to get better. All right, we're going to put the cooling head back. Now that I know these screws basically fit, I shouldn't have an issue. Guys, this is another example of Traxxas saving the day. Dude, even their screws fit everything. Like it's like the God's chosen RC, okay? All right, seated normally. It's in the threads correctly. All right, seated fine. Traxxas to the rescue. Meanwhile, I was over here cutting. Whoever gave me that suggestion, I appreciate that. All right. Let me tighten it up. Got a good amount of threads in there, too. Yeah, and these are proper hardened screws from the Pro 15. Let me get it a little bit tighter. So let me show you guys the results of a home repinch. All right, the screws are all tight, right? Just so you guys know, I've already basically home repinched like 5 engines. Only one was a failure, but that's because I got greedy. Don't get greedy. All right, I'm going to pull over the flywheel. Actually, let me undo the plug a little bit because it's going to be crazy. So as soon as these things fire up and run, they seat better. Well, as you would expect, you basically got to do a half, at least 2 tanks of braking again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You hear that? I could tighten it up a little bit. So when you warm it up, it's going to be perfect. But basically, we have ourselves some compressioning. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to say, it's about 90% better than it was before. About 90%. Only other thing is, I'm worried about this whole clutch bell. It seems to be making a lot of noises. You guys want me to take a look inside to see what clutch we got going on here, or just forget it? Forget it or not forget it? What's it going to be? It's kind of late. I want to go get some Domino's. Yeah. Smitty, you heard that? And that was with the plug loose, dude. Let me tighten it up a little bit. Kurtz RC, how you doing, Ghost? Check it out. Let me try again. When it's installed in the car, obviously it'll be a little bit better. I'm holding it in my hands now. It's a little bit whack doing it like this, but let me show you again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is what like a proper .12 engine should essentially sound like. Right? You should be able to turn it over with like a good amount of I guess power. Could we get a home repinch? Hell yeah. All right, let's continue, everybody. All right, so it's good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a look at the clutch inside because in the video, it did sound like it was making some funny noises. John Hensey, thank you, man. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's take a look inside the clutch. It's always a good idea to inspect anything before you put stuff back in. So far, guys, I've actually been learning about the home repinches. I might do a video on it later. I might not. I honestly don't want to encourage people to take a lot of risks where they don't need to, or, give bad advice. I really do pride myself on giving good advice. But I've been practicing over the past half a year, and so far I've repinched all the way down from 0.12 to 0.28. Only killed one engine so far. But it was just my first practice engine. I basically figured it out after. But once again, it's a lot of variables that are part of it. So let me take a look inside. Damn, I feel like we're going to have to cut that one. Either a torch or we're going to have to cut that screw. Because that screw is real stuck. I think we're going to have to replace that screw in general. You really shouldn't be using Phillips screws on the clutch bell area. What do you guys think? Cut it or what? I probably need to make a cut on it. Yeah, Nitro Racing Power, what's up, bro? Go ahead, let's ask away, please. Melissa, can you bring me the torch? It's on the table, please. Torch. Torch. Please, table. Please. I'm going to try the torch real quick. If it doesn't come out, we're going to cut it. Okay, well, I got nobody bringing me a torch, so I'm going to cut it. She's on the phone. Melissa on the phone, yo. Okay, so this is going to be actually pretty easy. Not a bad idea. This generally happens a lot. Probably somebody threadlocked the crap out of it. Let's see. We had a question here earlier. I didn't see it. I think we had a question from... Forgot who said they wanted to ask a question. But go ahead. I'll take a look at it. All right. Yeah, when Melissa on the phone, you try to disturb her, it's gonna be, you know, World War V over here today. All right, so I'm gonna basically make a cut in this part. That's enough. I think that should be enough. So also sometimes the heat from the friction of the cutting itself will aid as heating it up enough. Oh man, Nitro Racing Power goes got a strip thread in the crank of the Pro 15. So which screw? Nitro Racing Power, which screw? In the crankshaft, maybe in the backplate area. So if you have access to the screw like I did here, watch this. It might be enough, it might not be enough. So let me see if I could spin it out. If you have enough access to the screw where you can make like a straight cut. No, it's not enough. Okay, it's enough, baby. Oh yeah, there's like a ton of thread lock in there. I'm still having a hard time moving it. If you have, oh, this is really, whoever did this put a ton crazy thread lock in there, dude. I am like barely able to spin it. I have to go real slow. So if you have access to the screw, like sometimes the screws are recessed, like in a cooling head. Well, you're gonna have to use like a drill to cut off the head. Yeah, there's a ton of thread lock. Normally I would use a torch to heat this up, but since my assistant today seems to be on the phone, couldn't do it. Well, you see that? Honestly, a portable rotary tool like I was using is what you need. All right, Nitro Racing Power goes, it's on the cooling head. Well, you're going to have a 50% chance of success. Only thing you can do is get a drill that's about the size of the bolt head of the head. And you got to drill the head off, the head off the screw. The bad thing that could happen is your drill could go crooked. But if you drill off the screw head, I mean, it's basically just going to come off, right? Like if you drill off that head right there, it's just going to lift. And oftentimes the stud, you could just turn the stud out with pliers. I've done it about 4 times so far in life. And it's actually worked basically all the time. So that's going to be the only solution you could actually do if that's the case, unfortunately. All right. I mean, so far, things are going pretty good here, huh? Repair-wise? What do you guys think? Hybrid doing good or what? All right, let's take a look. I mean, I pretty much know what to expect. It's probably going to be a loose spring. Oh, wow. This still has the old style needle bearing. Damn, it flew right out. Hold on a second. There's some kind of mystery over here. Hold on a second. I see what happened. All right, so I pulled out. Okay, so this is an odd setup. So this is pretty much the regular needle bearing. CCM, HM, MH, how you doing, man? Let me ask you, should I go with HPI or VRX? Well, you got to tell us which models, bro. Obviously, HPI is a proper chassis. VRX is like a throwaway learner chassis, right? Like, listen, I'm not going to say anything is terrible. Any nitro is better than no nitro, but for resale value, you want a proper brand. Michael Sucha, I would like to. I might make a video on the topic. I don't want to get into it now. It involves basically a clamp and a torch. That's all it takes. A clamp and a torch and about one engine that you're willing to destroy. And then afterwards, you know, temporary, you get better. My very first repinch, I overpinched the crap out of it. You know, basically the piston didn't go beyond the exhaust port. All right, so let me see what we got going on here. So there's a regular flanged bearing. You know what? This isn't even actually a bearing. This is still a bushing. There's a bushing. Then there's the needle bearing. Then there's an actual bearing. Who built this clutch? It's some kind of, and I'm going to say this word, it's a name of a song I like. Yeah, my dudes, there's in fact 3 different types of bearing style objects. You don't assemble a high RPM engine like this ever. You never do that. This is not good. So I'm going to have to rebuild this later on, obviously. I'm going to have to get the parts. I ran out of the bearings I need. So let me just check out the clutch material. All right, the clutch spring is actually real tight. Yeah, the clutch springs are real good. This is the HPI. Actually, these are buggy clutch shoes. These are not even HPI clutch shoes. These are buggy style clutch shoes. Let me spin this over. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Compression is hardcore. All right, so it's good. At this point, I need to rebuild this entire. My bad about that. Phone got a little bit loose. Yeah, at this point, bros, I'm gonna have to rebuild that entire clutch pack on the bearing system. That's not correct at all. You should not have 3 different types of bearings. That's why it was causing noise. So these are, if you have never seen it, these are called like either needle or roller bearings. They work pretty good when they're new, but what happens is when you slide it on, it has a good amount of like vibration, not like a regular bearing would, because these are very cheaply manufactured. The logic is it just spins like that. Almost always, if you come across these in any RC, it's in your best interest to completely replace them fully. Because no matter what you do, these will always make a little bit of noise. Pretty much all the time, 100% of the time. Let's see what we got. Got any interesting questions?
Jump in my new EV with me. I found it on Cars.com.
Michael Sucha, you got my email? I could tell you in the email what I do. I mean, I'm not opposed to telling you, but you got to have, like, the best engine to practice on is a Traxxas engine. If you have, like, really any junk engines, you could practice a repinch on, but I'm going to tell you, pretty much the first engine you try to repinch, it's all going to be bad. My first one, I killed it, but it was already toast. Like, I didn't really care about it. Plus, if you're going to have one that you're going to do the Traxxas trade-in program, just try to repinch the one that you're going to send in, and who cares, right? It might work, it might not work, but it's kind of, I would say, a steep learning curve. All right, what I want to do now, I'm gonna have to do this stuff later, guys, because all this stuff is misassembled. I can't assemble it back the way it is. Fat Chubby, how you doing? T-Max forever. I agree, bro. That's why I got a T-Max right in front of me for motivation. I'm motivated right now by that T-Max. Actually, there's about 3 somewhere. Oh, there's another one right there. That's the 3.3 short chassis, actually. 3.3 short chassis. Yeah, guys, we're about to get up to like a shit ton of snow, dude. I don't know if the Kyosho Blizzard could handle it. It might sink. I told Melissa, as long as the Chinese food place is open, I don't care. But she said... Well, what did she say? I don't know what she said, but I forgot what she said. All right. What I want to do now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these things back, because all this has to get redone completely. Like, these clutch parts are incorrect. And I need to order the correct parts. So let me go to eBay. I'm sorry, Amazon. And in fact, the parts I order, let me do a search. for the correct parts that I order. Bearings. All right, so these are the correct bearings. Let me make sure that I got the correct bearings myself. All right. All right, so these right here, I'm going to show you guys. These are correct bearings that you would want to replace those roller needle bearings with. So 10 of them, you would need about 4 to 5 to rebuild a 2-speed clutch bell. And a single speed, you could use about 3. So, you know, if you buy 2 of these sets, they're fairly inexpensive for about $8, right? So I would highly recommend these are the ones you get. What is this, a 2-pack? Oh, 2-pack, baby. 2-pack for $15. I'm going to order these tonight, probably later on. I'm actually been saving up for this. A power station. I think that's what I need to get. I need to get a solar power station, to be honest with you. Good sale. So this is a Lifey, so pretty safe battery tech. Comes with a 100-watt solar panel. I figured I could like stick this in the window or something and at least charge some devices on it. Might pick this up in the future. Who knows? But those are the bearings you need, just so you guys know. All right, next update. I don't know if I want to talk about the brakes. I might bring up the brakes later, actually. So unless someone really wants to know about the brakes, I'm probably not going to talk about it. And go back to the chat. Michael Sucha, bro. If you want, email me. I'll tell you like in written form what I have been doing. Now it's gonna be very, very experimental your first 2 times, right? My email is this whole YouTube username at hotmail.com. So hybrid32494 at hotmail.com. You want to shoot me an email, I'll tell you. I don't really want to spread that information honestly publicly right now because I'm still in the testing phases. But I've already repinched like a good handful of engines. And so far, only destroyed 1. So I would say that's successful. Honestly, something that's like a race engine, you probably should pay to get it fixed, right? Like a proper repinch, because with a clamp, you're not going to get a taper. You're going to get like a squeeze at the top. But it's good enough for like general use. I've already ran like those RCs of the track, and it actually is pretty solid, right? Like generally, I've noticed with ABN engines, it's way more successful than ABC, because the point of no return for ABC is very, very minimal. Margin of error is like freaking huge. Yeah, so Michael Sucha, email me. I'll let you know, bro. I mean, it's something you could use on old engines, no problem with. I believe. But I've even done like a Savage 28, bro, and it runs like I've already ran 3 tanks in it. It actually didn't run at all before. It fired up for like maybe 20 seconds, overheated, and shut down. Repinched the crap out of that, and it's running fine. I won't say it's as perfect as a new engine, obviously, but it's close to being perfect. All right, bros, I'm going to be here for a couple more minutes. Let me just check out what the rest of you are saying. I got to go get some food before I get snowed in. I'm going to work on this probably overnight and order those bearings. Let's see. We got Fat Chubby. Let me see what you're saying. Would an aluminum steering belt crank be better than the stock one on a T-Max? My stock one gets stuck and misaligned going straight. Okay, so Fat Chubby, the steering system on a T-Max, I'm going to show you the T-Max. I mean, not that you don't know what it is. It's good. The steering system on a T-Max is very good. I have never in my life felt I needed to upgrade any of the steering components other than the servo. Chances are you have something else wrong. So let me make sure what you're saying. So you're saying that the stock one gets stuck and misaligned going straight. Do you guys remember if there's a servo saver on a T-Max steering system? I don't remember. Oh yeah. Okay. So let me do a quick zoom on this one. So it sounds like when you say it's getting stuck, you see that spring over there? That's the servo saver. You need that thing to be hella tight. So if that thing is not hella tight, it's basically not gonna twist completely. You know what I mean? That you need it to be hella tight. But in terms of the linkage, notice I'm running like plastic linkage parts. They're very, very good. Right? And John Hensey's correct. It sounds like the servo teeth might actually be stripped. So always check your servo horn. In fact, I have almost never stripped even a plastic one. It's just never happened. On a T-Max, rather. Right? Tara Curry, appreciate that, bro. We're going to get those bearings 100%. Thank you, man. But yeah, so everybody knows those particular bearings I showed, they don't only fit here, they fit in the Kyoshos as well, on the USA 1. The USA 1, so special thanks to Tarek on that. The USA 1 is that truck in the back. Believe it or not, it comes with 2 needle bearings on the clutch assembly. It's literally not very good, but you know, that truck is new, so it's still running good. But when those needle or roller bearings age, they will make noise, and the worst thing that will happen, this is what you don't want to happen. Let me show you. What you don't want to happen is some of these, they basically start to get misaligned, and they wiggle, right? When you have a very long clutch belt, the clutch belt could easily go like this. So let me show you, for instance, what I'm talking about. This is just a 2-speed clutch belt. What happens is, this one seems okay, but eventually the clutch belt will begin to move up and down like this, and it will simply strip your spur gears. So that is not what you want to ever happen. Proper bearings, like this, is what you want. Problem is you got to use like a good 4 to 5 of them. Right, but they're very, very solid. There's actually a second bearing I would recommend. It's called a flanged bearing, which is like this. It's called a flanged bearing. This is actually a flanged bushing. Very rare. I've never seen a flanged bushing in my life. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm going to answer a couple questions. Yeah, Fat Chubby, make sure that servo saver spring is as tight as possible. But like, you know, the viewers here on this channel know I never recommend to upgrade steering linkages of any kind, because you're not going to end up with anything better, right? The Traxxas steering system is very good, bro. It's very good. I could show you a little closer up, but honestly, getting that thing out of here is going to be really difficult for me to do. So I don't want to do it right now, because as you could tell, well, I have limited space, man. I have very limited space. So I had to stack things up kind of crazy on that shelf over there. That's probably the craziest shelf you'll ever see. We got a tank that shoots airsoft and has smoke machine. We got a Trinity Reflex with an OS 12 TR, and we got a T-Max Tony Classic. So it ain't that easy. But let me see what else I can answer about servos. I mean, I might have a servo I could show you, but main thing is make sure that your throttle servo is good, dude. The steering, whatever. Like, okay, it's inconvenient, but you don't want to have your throttle servo be messed up. So usually what happens is the endpoints on cheap radios are not adjustable. You need to have adjustable endpoints, right? By the way, for you guys that were here for now, and I know Tarek is still here, do you guys want to see one of the RCs I picked up today? I'm going to tell you, it's no dream car, okay? Get ready. It is not a dream car. It is not, well, yeah, dream and car are not in the same sentence together. It's not a dream car. It's more like I would say maybe living nightmare. Maybe, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex style type stuff here. Depends how you look at it. But its first name is Thunder, last name is Tiger. That's all that matters. So, if we get a hell yeah, I will roll it out. But likely, this might be tomorrow's content. Okay, I appreciate that, guys. You are interested. So, get ready. Please hold your puke back, kidding around. Somebody spent time and built this to what they liked. And listen, I'm not here to make fun of what people like. Body fell, it's fine. I'm not here to make fun of what people like to build. It's all good. You know, we've all been there. We've kind of monsterized an RC and then regretted it, right? This is one of those cases. All right, I'm going to put it on the table. You tell me what you think. Holy moly, what is that? Nobody even knows what that is. So, yes, let me not make fun of any Nitro. I don't like to do that. As John Hensey says, every Nitro has a story. And this one has one as well. Roger Chevelle, how you doing? I did build a Tamiya lunchbox, bro. Let me show you right here. I actually sold it a while. No, I traded it for a Revo. That's my lunchbox box. So I did have a lunchbox on the channel. I got rid of it recently. Traded it for a Revo. Anyway, here is the car. First name Thunder. Last name Tiger. As you can all tell, this is, Tarek probably knows, this is actually the car I did last couple weeks videos on. This is the TSN4 with a non-original custom rally style setup, which I likely will reverse back to normal. This is a belt drive touring car with what appears to just be extenders and larger wheels. So I'm going to figure out how to reverse this because honestly, this is not very cool. I don't like it. But we do have a Thunder Tiger Pro engine, right? Correct engine for this model. I've actually never seen that version of cooling head. Anybody ever seen that? Tarek, anybody ever seen that? I've never seen that one. So it's dirty. There's a good amount of problems with it. But it's, you know, this one, it's going to be fixable. The good thing is we do have the correct pipe. We do have a very desirable header actually on this one. So this is the header that I need for the RS4 rather. So if I don't wind up running it, I'll use the header for the RS4 builds. Smitty, yeah. So the suspension, obviously, it's designed for a touring car. So this is not good. But, I mean, it has servos. The fuel tank is, you know, these are like kind of team associated level cars. Pull starter is here. It's obviously extra. Oh, no. Oh, shit. It actually spins over. Oh, wow. Dude, I might fire this up tomorrow in the snowstorm. Yeah, Tarek, I have never seen one with a cooling head like this. So this is one of the cars I got today. As you know, I already told you the story on this one. But this is just one of them. You know, the upper deck looks funny because they just left like a bunch of holes everywhere. It doesn't appear that it's just missing the power switch. What's up, Melissa? Oh, you gave me a note? It says, hey guys, you want me to read what Melissa's note says? You want to ask the chat? Come ask.
No.
Melissa, come down.
No.
Saint Quinta, how you doing? She wants to know if she can make coffee. Of course, boo, you can make coffee here. Why don't you use my cup? Come on, go use my cup. It tastes better in this cup. Don't put it in the dishwasher because it's taped on. Come on, Melissa. Guys, how cute is that? That's cute. Go ahead, use the cup. It already had coffee inside, right? Come on, get the cup. Get the cup. And close the door. Thanks. Appreciate you. All right, go. All right, so we're going to have to convert it back because obviously these... first of all, these don't even look like touring car shocks. They're way too... Well, I'll figure it out. I don't know. Maxwell, how you doing, Maxwell? Let's check out the bottom. I mean, it's a Thunder Tiger TS4N chassis, right? It's the gear single speed. These were pretty proper cars. Not very popular in America, but I know overseas in the UK, these were killing it. I do notice there's one major issue. You guys want to know what the major issue is other than the dirt? So, shout out to the person I got this from today. As a channel viewer. Appreciate you, bro. I actually got a couple other cars in general. This is just the one I brought in the house today. That's why the stream is late. So, we do have a proper 2-needle carb. It does have compression. It has a desirable header. But look at this. Anybody want to tell me why I don't have 4-wheel drive? So, either the belt is messed... Oh, I see it. Okay, that explains it all. There we go. I'm trying to show you the sprocket, the rear sprocket. It's hard for me to do a close-up of the sprocket right there. The sprocket itself is actually totally stripped. Right there. So it's hard for me to do a zoom in on that one. But the sprocket, right there, I'm showing it to you right there. You see the sprocket? It's a stripper, unless it's just dirty. Hold on a second. Nah, it's stripped. Yeah, it's the teeth are gone. The teeth on the sprocket are toast. I might have some spares that I got from the guy, actually. But yeah, the rear sprocket is toast, so it's in this kind of condition, it's not drivable. Yeah, Michael Succi is correct. Belt drive and dirt and, you know, off-road wheels, not what you want for a car like this at all. But like I said, the guy built, you know, the viewer, of a good friend of mine, built the car he wanted to build. And that's okay. You know, like, listen, we all did that at one point in our life, didn't we? And it takes a little while to understand, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. The good news is, but, you know, listen, guys, it's not for me to decide what you should be or shouldn't be doing. That's your own personal thing, right? These are things we buy with ourselves, and don't let anybody tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Listen, if you want to stick some popcorn on top and tape it around and watch TV with it, you could do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but you could do that, right? I'm not going to say you can't, all right? The good news is, Often guy, how you doing, bro? Just showing a bit of a new RC I just picked up today. That's right, Earl Warhead goes, toast and coffee, just missing some biscuits. Hey, bro, if you want to cook eggs in the cooling head like I did, you could do that. You know how much hate I got over that over the years? But the truth is, as long as it ain't illegal, you could do that, all right? If it's illegal, I can't tell you to do it. Can't do it. All right, the middle belt is good. The front belt is good. I'm going to try to figure out the wheel situation. And spur gear, clutch bell, I mean, it looks okay, right? But compression is good. I've never seen this actual engine, like Tarek said. Most important thing, the engine mounts are there that are normal, like, you know, gear mesh is there. The carb is actually not seized at all. This engine might be almost in good shape, right? Carb is not seized. I mean, this is a proper car once I fix it. Well, with suspension issues, obviously, but it's going to need a little bit of work. This might be tomorrow's stream. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be here for like one more minute. Let me see if I have any closing comments to say. And I will get ready for the snowstorm. I got some stuff in the car. I got to bring in some like seltzer water and some crap. Don't want that thing to freeze. In fact, Melissa and I really didn't do any shopping for the storm. I am basically hoping that the Chinese food place is open tomorrow. Okay, so if I'm starving tomorrow, you guys know why. It's because the Chinese food place is closed. Please don't let that place be closed. We all know in the snowstorms, those places make money. And I'm hoping tomorrow's one of those days as well. That's about it, bros. This is some information. Thunder Tiger TS4N. Missing some stuff, but it's okay. Rear, I mean, I could get these engine mounts, these body mounts. These look like regular body mounts. I could 3D print those. The front look pretty much normal. All right, bros. Thank you all so much. And I will talk to you later. Just one of the cars I got. And Thunder Tiger, hell yeah. All right. Oh, Saint. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. Saint Machina. That's right, bro. Yes, that's your Thunder Tiger. That's right. Yeah, so, you know, we'll repair it. I know there's a lot of parts with it, so it'll be awesome, bro. I like it. You see, the viewers here love Thunder Tiger. And so do I. Just one at a time. That's all that matters. The rest of them, I actually kind of left them in my car because I was rushing home today. But thank you, man, again for the great deal today. Nice meeting you. And let's all have a great, safe day tomorrow. The rest of the week, I know parts of this country are having massive snowstorms. Just stay safe out there. You know, people like to say, oh, I got four-wheel drive. Let me go drive in the snow. Truth is, it's about other people slamming into you. You know, you could have four-wheel drive. You can get out of the snow. But will you be able to stop good enough? That's the question. So big shout out to Saint Makina over there for hooking me up. I appreciate it, man. I will message you later on. I got to go to Domino's to get some pasta right now, actually. Yes, Domino's has great pasta. Thunder Tiger, hell yeah, by the way. See you all next time.